game here taking us, no barber, ain't no fading us. I ain't really saying much. Actions be louder than words, man. I just wanna be heard from your mom to your pop to the beat to the birds, man. Cut right off on the curb, like I'm Barry Sanders. Chains on and the diamonds dancing. Game on, so it's time to go. When the rain starts, I'ma let you know. Name a squad that is better though than my whole team. We a pot of gold. I'm a dog. I'ma need a bone for my whole team. I'ma let it go like yeah. And it feel like yeah. All day like yeah. All night like yeah. Whole squad like what? And it feel like yeah. All day like yeah. All night like what? Whole squad like yeah. And it feel like yeah. All day like yeah. All night like yeah. Whole squad like yeah. And it feel like yeah. All day like yeah. All night like yeah. You don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. No, I said you don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want. Yeah, I pissed so my frustration. I was waiting to shine.
We are just a few miles from the Gulf Coast of Florida at Raymond James Stadium here in Tampa. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between our visitors and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This is taken at his 4. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
Down. 10 Lobo. 52. Ready.
Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. 10 yards there and a Buccaneer first down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
22-jet bomber, 22-jet bomber.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. And right away, he lost the football. And picked up by the Chargers. Opening drive fumble and the 4 miscues that they have. Last week, 4 turnovers, Charles, so this is a bad trend.
And, Brandon, you and I both know that they didn't just ignore what happened last week. They focused on it, tried to get better. And when it happens here again in this game, the head coach is going to see that as a direct reflection on his message to the team, and it's not sinking in.
Let's go.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And the magnitude of this game, everybody knows it. The fans, obviously the players and coaches. There's just within the palpable buzz right now. They know they control their own destiny.
Win and you're in. And I think every player wants that. I think every coach wants that. I haven't been an organization yet that wants to be in a game where they have to rely on other teams to get them to their goals. In this situation, it's very cut and dry. Win and you're in the playoffs. That's their mission, that's their challenge, and you know they've chosen to accept it.
And what they told us is this has been the most focused week of practice we've had all year. You wouldn't expect any different.
Yeah, and you know, at the beginning of the season, you have multiple goals. They just have one now, win the game.
And the Buccaneers, first down. 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line.
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Out of the gun, it's Elliott. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Here's a 2nd and 7. He completes it to Evans. 15 yards as Tampa Bay picks up the first.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Set. 70, Indy. Topper. Check 26, check 26. Deep grip.
From the shotgun, a give to Elliott. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. They'll get 4 on 2nd down, but it leaves them with 3rd and still 9 to go.
10-2 stop.
You can't block me. You can't block me.
Ready.
They'll drop the throw. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Check safety. Go. Get out there. Ringo.
Now a first carry for Melvin Gordon. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Looking to throw. Prescott. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Carl Nassib coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th. 4th down, and on is Ty Long to punt. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And the punt goes out of bounds. Where will they put it? They'll put it just inside the 45-yard line. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He sets up the screen to Jones. A good convergence there defensively, only a yard, and it's 2nd down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed, but all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Second and 9 now. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Going for Evans, but that pass is intercepted. picked off by Casey Hayward. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Charger drive about to get going. Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They run it here with Gordon. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. 16 yards is the pickup there and a first down for L.A.
A gain of 16 yards. First down, Chargers.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
Buccaneers 3, Chargers 0.
So following the run by Gordon, here's 1st and 10.
Tight end to the right, boy. Tight end to the right. Kill. Here we go, going to 53. Here we go. Stand up there. Set,
Tackle made by Justin Evans.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Here we go. Hey, tight down. There you go. Hey, kill.
2nd and 5 now. Prescott. He's going to look for Allen now on the deep ball. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. He was trying to get that back to Allen. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Following the penalty, here's Gordon. And he's going to get this inside the 30. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down L.A.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Oh, yeah, I'm coming.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Charger first. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
Now Prescott, eluding the pressure right. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down at will.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
They'll try the ground game with Jackson. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down. He stayed afloat for a second there after the first wave of contact, but that was going nowhere.
Yeah, what did he tell us in pregame? I just don't want to get my feet stopped initially when I'm trying to make a run. That's exactly what happened there. Unfortunately, as you noted, got away a little bit from the first one, but the wave swarmed him under.
Get him, boy.
They come out here in the eye. This drive started way back inside their own 5. Now they're looking for the capper. 3rd and goal. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Chargers. Dak Prescott keeping it himself from a yard out. And the Chargers have taken the lead. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Brings up 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Yeah.
Here's 2nd and 8. He sets to fire deep. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Complete to Jones. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. That's good for a Buccaneer first, a pickup of 12 yards. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Joey Bosa, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year.
Yep. Go. 57's Mike. Mike, get it.
They're going to look to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL.
Check. Go.
Now on 3rd and forever, he'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Chargers will be set up pretty well as they take over in great field position. Now Gordon on 1st down. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill it.
And Henry's hit. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 1st down, Tampa Bay there, a gain of 13.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving him a whole lot of credit and thanking him for that much space to rumble.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10.
Hey, check Mike 57, Mike 57. All right.
Ready?
2nd and 10. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Back to throw here. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Here's Bradley Pinion now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. On the RPO, Prescott's going to keep it himself. Quick throw out to Gordon on the perimeter. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on third. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half.
Going to 53. 45.
Prescott on 3rd and 2. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. Here's Ty Long now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. Now a high kick, almost a pooch punt. Here's Jones on the return. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we send you a stone's throw away across I-4 to Orlando. There standing by is Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway.
That's it, baby. We're going to work.
The Charger drive about to get going. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had an ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
That throw into the arms of Allen. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage. Knew where the pressure was going to come from and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And in their own territory, needing only a few inches, they're going to line up to go for this thing on 4th down. They'll run for it. It's Gordon. He's got the first down and more past midfield. And finally brought down at the 31-yard line. 4th down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Prescott. They'll set up the screen. This is Williams. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on 1st down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're either throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it up, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
Let's go, D. Check 45. 26. Check 45. 47. 26.
3rd and short yardage. Prescott. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Demarius Randall. And to the 12. That's where it stops. The return is halted at the 12-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to it. It's a gain of 11, and the Bucs have a 1st down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, they've all been going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. A tough run by Ezekiel Elliott, the 4th overall pick in the 2016 draft.
If you watch tape of him in college, you saw plenty of those runs because I know the highlights showed him in the open field breaking away from people, but that's how he wore down defenses, those exact type of runs.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. A dump underneath to Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 10 yards there and a Buccaneer 1st down. So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Now a draw play. This is Jones. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They stay on the ground, but this time it's Elliott. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
I-7, protein spell, sit.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. That one goes for 24 yards. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
He'll drop to throw. Got an open man. It's QT. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Back now in Tampa. It's Buccaneer football, but they've got work to do. They find themselves behind here to start the fourth quarter. The Bucs on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. They'll set up to throw. He's going to go down, sacked back at the 13-yard line. Joey Bosa in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for him. And Gay knocks this one through, and they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So with that field goal, this one's now back within a field goal. Maybe not the ultimate result they wanted, but gets them that much closer.
This game is unfolding like a really good book, isn't it? Because I feel like there's a few more plot twists yet to be revealed before this one is over.
This is taken at the 3. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
From the 35 on second down, Prescott. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
The Chargers on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And Allen's got it. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 45-yard line. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
A nice burst there as they'll get about 7 that time on the first down run. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. They'll keep it on the ground. This time it's Gordon. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. Prescott from the gun. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 22-yard line. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 1 yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Badgley's kick is good. And they bump the lead up to 4 now at 10-6. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
Check 55, Mike.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Mike Evans. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Bucs are going to retake the lead.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
This is taken at the 3. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line.
At their own 31-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. And at least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? And
that's caught inside the 20. Oh, and the big play's going to get even bigger as penalty flags are down, and I believe they're going to get a face mask penalty tacked on. So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. They'll try the right side this time here with Gordon. Looking for a seam but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage and that's it. They'll say no gain on the play and it'll be 2nd and goal. Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. And he's going to bull his way down to about the 1-yard line. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. 3rd and goal. They'll try and punch it in. Gordon. And Gordon's going to be stopped short. No gain on the play. And what to do now on 4th and goal? Well, if this defense can hold them to a field goal here, what a win that would be.
Not just a win on the possession, but psychologically take over the ball game. But this started with 1st and goal, so they were in 4-down territory right from the beginning. I say you finish it off and go for the touchdown.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to tie things up in the final minute. Badgley able to knock this one through. And that will tie this game here in the final minute of play. So a big kick to get this back to even. Now the worry is, did you leave too much time on the clock? Because another field goal the other way, that does you in.
You're exactly right. You didn't get it to overtime yet. So now as a defense, you've got to think to yourself, you can't play prevent defense and just give up big chunks of yardage in front of you. But you also can't let anyone behind you. So you sit right on the line between the two, play the best defense you can, and not make it easy for them to move the ball downfield.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. The Bucs forced to use their third and final timeout as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this fourth quarter. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's second and a yard from the 34.
Six man. Check curls, check curls, check curls. 9:55.
Second and 1. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Let's go, let's bring it. Let's bring it.
Check 52.
Hey, Zoo.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. Here's Bradley Pena now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fielded at the 43. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. Now Prescott. Complete. It's Henry. 16 yards is the pickup there, and a first down for L.A. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. So everything hanging in the balance, resting on the right foot of Michael Badgley. 2 for 2 tonight. This will be for the win. And his kick is good. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. He hasn't missed a kick all year. Why would he start now?
That's a great question, isn't it? Well, maybe because that was the most nerve-wracking kick he had to attempt all year, but he knocked it through just like it was an easy chip shot.
An incredibly short kick fielded way up there. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play.